Joe, what's one off your list?
One off mine is the training. We're all in training here at ActionCOACH. Can you explain that a little bit more? Is there science behind, obviously, the structure that we do, the number of days?
Yes, there is a lot of science behind it. So when you look at training humans today, so if you look at our 12-week training programs that we do out in the marketplace, the management training, the new Action Club, so the starting point for all new customers coming through that 12 weeks. What the research has been showing, and we didn't know this when we moved to this, we just knew in our gut what got the right results with people. And so they started this research. Actually, Fox Corporation started this. Rupert Murdoch saw a problem with the education system and brought in some of the best people in the world. And like these people like, hang on, we're going to work for Fox doing this great education thing. They had to overcome that part of their branding thing first and foremost. But what they found was that you're taking these kids and you're putting them in a classroom and saying to these kids, hey, learn all of this stuff while you're sitting in a classroom from a teacher who really doesn't know the knowledge base around this. In fact, they're not the best in the world on this subject. They just happened to read the textbook last night so they could read the textbook to you here today and teach you stuff. Then you go home and with your parents try and integrate the knowledge. And if your parents are anything like me, my kids, the twins are 9. They come home and they're showing me their math homework. And I'm going, yeah, here's how you do that. Well, the teacher calls me up and goes, Mr. Sugars, can you stop teaching your kids that way to do math? I'm like, I don't want to teach them the stupid-ass way you're teaching right now. I want to teach them the easy way, for goodness sake. Why do I need to do 17 problems to solve a multiplication thing when I can do 1? Anyway, that philosophy of teach them stuff at school, send them home to integrate the knowledge just doesn't work, okay? What works is send them home to watch the video with the best person in the world teaching you that geography lesson or that history lesson. It's a 1-hour curated video that's got energy and pump and psych, and the kids watch it and are enthralled because there's, here's the Egyptian pyramids and there's all this stuff. And they show, do you know what I mean? Like it's like a movie for the kids to watch because kids need every 3 seconds something different on screen to stay involved, which is a social media lesson we've all got to learn. So what we do here, especially like with our 12-week education programs, watch the video of Brad, who, not trying to brag, but I'm the best in the world at teaching that stuff. So you get a half hour of the best in the world teaching you the data. You then come together with your coach and the other members of your cohort, the other participants in the training, and you discuss what you learned and you discuss how you're going to implement it, and you look at the results of what you did last week, and then you measure the results of what you're going to do this week and you go into detail. So that's why our 12-week programs are built that way. So take that same strategy into training someone into, if we look at strategically moving someone from one career to the next, one business to the next, and that's really what we're doing when we're inviting someone to join ActionCOACH. We're not saying, hey, let me teach you a skill, all right? First of all, I'm not teaching you to be a business coach here. I'm teaching you to run a business coaching business. Big difference. Now, 2/3 of people who come to us have never owned their own business before, so not only do I have to teach them how to run this business, I have to teach them how to run a business. So what we do is we break all that down. What can be learned that is just knowledge prior to coming? Here are the books, here's the videos, here's the ebooks, here's the workbooks, the playbooks, etc. Take this knowledge in, because you don't need a trainer to show you a formulaic methodology and explain it to you on a flip chart for you to go, that makes sense. You can do that on your own time, in your own way, in your own thing. So when we look at the 4 weeks of pre-training, which is about 9 weeks if you do it part-time, but 4 weeks if you do it full-time, that pre-training is built so that there is the growth of you as you build upon itself. So what you learn in week 1 makes week 10 make sense. If you didn't learn this in week 1, week 2 doesn't work. type thing. And so everything that through that process is building upon itself to do that. So when you come into this environment, the 10-day training environment, it's really clarification and putting together and bringing together everything you've learned and saying, how does that fit with that? We've given you the content. This is where you get the context. So teaching content can be done anywhere. Context should be done with a real live trainer in a real live room to facilitate making it all fit together. So think of it like the jigsaw puzzle type thing. What we do with you out there is say, all right, put in the four corners, do the outside outline type thing, and sort out all of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. You come in here and it's like, okay, here's how we put this piece in. This is how this piece comes together. So the content becomes context. Then phase 3 is application. Skinned the knees, made the phone calls, messed them up, did the things. How does that relate? Facilitator comes back and says, okay, what did you learn from doing that? Well, I learned to do A, B. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, that's good. And that's basically the way it works. So content, context, skin your knees is essentially what we're aiming to do. But there's a reason we also do it for 10 days. Your identity has to shift. When you leave here, our goal is that you use languaging like we includes ActionCOACH, not your previous company. You ever noticed when someone changes jobs and they're in the new job and they talk about we being their old company? We can't have you leave here going we, meaning your old company. We has to mean ActionCOACH when you leave here. See, what makes a successful transition is the 80-20. If you take 20% of your previous knowledge and add 80% to this, then we know you're going to succeed. If you come in and have 80% and only 20% of this, we know you're not going to succeed. Not fast anyway, if that makes sense. Great question.